Hello, thank you for coming by, Tori Magoo 44. I appreciate you coming by. Today is the 11th of May, and this is about Scientology, the Church of Scientology, the Way to Happiness, and Nancy Cartwright and Chicago. What do these things have to do with each other? I've been writing on their newspaper, and since I'm from Chicago, it means a lot to me anyway. So I'm going to run it by you. I'm going to post the link there so that you can just see this. Chicago, wake up, okay? The Church of Scientology, think of it like an umbrella. Underneath it are many different front groups. One of those front groups is called the Way to Happiness, all right? And yes, it's a little booklet that comes. In fact, I think I have one. Hang on. I do. I have one. I've got one. Not that one. Although this is pretty cool too, because this is my old passport from your Scientology passport and all the different courses that I did and things. I used to have this thing of passport. Anyway, here's a little booklet, The Way to Happiness. It looks like that. They have different variations of it. Now here's the deal. Right now, Nancy Cartwright is sponsoring this. I'm not sure if they still do it. Their old way was they would go around and get doctors or dentists, someone who was an opinion leader in the area, that Nancy Cartwright obviously is for many people, and they would ask them to sponsor it, right? The doctor or the dentist would pay for it. They would kind of go around the town, find out what was something that the kids or the young people needed, and then they would start hammering these doctors and dentists and saying, you make a lot of money, you need to contribute back to the community, you pay for the Way to Happiness booklets, we'll get them out, that'll help the kids. Now the booklet and what's in it is, it's like the Ten Commandments. Hubbard basically copy-pasted it from some, it's in many different books in many different ways, but very simple, basic things that are good. There's nothing wrong with what's in it. What is wrong with it is that if you start putting it in the schools, it is a violation of church and state. It is underneath the Church of Scientology International. It's underneath their umbrella. It is one of their front groups. They do report their statistics upline every single week. It's an absolute program that was designed to safeguard Scientology. That's what it's for. So it kind of makes it safe. It's like, well, Dr. So-and-so is for it, so it must be okay. They do Way to Happiness first, and then they move in the Church of Scientology. Now, I know you have Church of Scientology already there, but they're probably trying to, bring up their public relations image in your area, which isn't too great. And so anyway, I just wanted to let you know, I used to work as a volunteer for what's called the Office of Special Affairs, which many people here know about, but you in Chicago may not. And it's actually their PR and legal division. But how it works out is like on your newspaper where you've got these people going, oh, I think it just seems like a nice booklet, right? That was people like me, where they would call me up and say, Tori, Chicago's got this newspaper going. We want you to start. We used to call at the time because it was before email and stuff, way back when. But, 80s, 90s kind of thing. And I would call and give, say what I wanted to say or write them a letter, something like that. Now I'm sure they send emails saying, or just posting saying, oh, it seems like just such a great book to me. And if you follow it down, those are probably most of the time people that actually work for the church. I didn't work for them, but I was a volunteer. I was an OT, an operating thetan, and you're kind of expected to contribute and help out. And that was one of my ways. I was good in public relations, so I would call people, write them, talk to them, just to give them my wins or whatever worked for me. Nancy Cartwright is not a bad person. She's a very nice person, actually. That's one of the worst things I think about Scientology. Besides the fact that they break up families, besides the fact that they have medical abuse, besides the fact that they practice fair game, where Hubbard said you can lie, cheat, steal, destroy someone utterly if they speak out against Hubbard or Scientology. Besides those awful, abusive things that they do, and mind control, and ripping people off for money, besides those, they also use celebrities, right? They rope them in, And then, just like Nancy, she's just like I was. I was a true believer, man. I really thought Scientology worked. And I know she does. I've been over to her house. I know she's in it, man. And I understand that. And it's sad because it's like she can't look at. And that's one of the reasons I speak out. Because they stop you from looking. They stop you from watching critical TV shows. They stop you from reading critical books. They stop you from looking on the internet on anything where you might learn some of the actual facts. And these are things that are in court document facts, right? About Hubbard, about the church, about David Miscavige, about the abusive side of this organization. So, Chicago, you're doing just fine without The Way to Happiness. You don't need that book. And really, look into it more. I always say, read, look, listen, learn both sides, and make up your own mind. And you got to ask yourself this. Why can't Scientologists say that? They can't. They'll say how horrible I am. They'll say I'm they'll call me different names. She's a religious bigot, or she's this or that. But they'll never say, why don't you look at both sides? Make up your own mind. My dad played for the Chicago Cardinals. And that was one of the basic rules that he taught me. He said, hey, sit down. Anybody will sit down at the table with you, they're fine. Doesn't matter if they disagree with you. It's the bullies are the ones that'll never sit down at the table and talk to both sides. And that's the Church of Scientology and The Way to Happiness. All right? So ask them. And that's that's all I wanted to tell you. I love you. And everybody here that's helping expose the abuses of this insidious organization, I thank you very much. Have a good day. You take care, and I will talk to you soon.